welcome to Energy Movement Podcast. My name is Elvira Rakova, and today I'm very happy to have Daniel from EXAIR. Hi, Tyler, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Elvira?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So, Tyler, I'm very happy we are coming today to talk about the most consuming, I guess, technology, like the when we think about the blow-in application, compressed air, and I'm really excited. But I just checked your LinkedIn once again, and I saw that you've been in Nexer for 14 years. So you're like
That's correct.
really long time expert in this. Can you just tell us about yourself a little bit?
Yeah. So, as you said, I've been with EXAIR for it'll be 15 years coming up this next April. So, a lot of experience working with our products from the production end all the way to the application engineering side that I do now. So, in my time here, I've worked as just a basic general assembler. I spent some time as a quality control inspector, and for the last 7.5 years now, I've been working in the international department with our network of distributors throughout the world, doing application engineering, business development, technical sales, and things like that.
Oh, okay, great. So from the assembling quality now to the sales and engineering. So what is the most fun part was for you, assembling or sales?
I think now I would definitely say what I do now is more gratifying. Just the ability to interact with people from all over the world. You get to see different cultures, different ways of life, and manufacturing processes are not the same everywhere in the world. So you get introduced to new processes and new ways of solving problems. And then there's never a day where I don't take a call or take an email from a customer where I'm learning something new about some new process. So I think for me that is definitely what's the most interesting.
Okay. So, and with what type of process you usually work? What type of clients you usually help to optimize their process? So, which kind of industries it would be?
It's really any industry in manufacturing that's utilizing compressed air. If a company has an industrial source of compressed air, there is some process there where they are blowing, whether that be to clean, to cool, to dry. Any of those applications that are using the compressed air at the point of use, XAir probably has a product from our 15 product lines that can do that a little bit more efficiently.
Okay, great. What is your favorite process? Or
Favorite.
where do you think is the most usually like you get this call and you think, okay, here I definitely will help with this process.
So for me, and it's kind of a weird one that it started, but a couple of years ago, we started getting a lot of calls from coffee roasting companies for using a product of ours called the line vac. It's an air operated conveyor. I'm a huge coffee drinker, so for whatever reason, that was interesting to me. So we wrote some blogs about it, did some videos, and that's generated quite a good amount of business in this industry. And it's just personal to me because I love to drink coffee, as I think most of us do. So the process there is using our line vac to convey green coffee beans to a roaster. So the line vac uses compressed air to move products from A to B without any moving parts. So it's replacing typically manual operations, so making the process much safer in that you don't have an operator who has to manually climb a ladder and deposit a material into the hopper.
Okay, great. And coffee and compressed air sounds like my dream job actually. So it's very interesting. So basically, you look for the end of use, and then you see how you can use compressed air there, or how you can actually improve the existing process already, right?
Yeah, so
With your
sometimes it's a variety of different reasons for why a customer may contact us. Oftentimes, it's because they're having some sort of problem in their production process, and XAir is the solution to that problem. So, cooling, drying, blowing off, anything like that. There's something we can do to help.
Okay, so basically, if any operational manager would say, okay, I have here the parts that are too hot and I need somehow to cool it, then
Mhm.
he would like contact you and then you will explain and find the product that would suit for this application. This is,
Exactly. Oftentimes, customers are either just blowing open pipes or tubes
yeah.
to cool part. They may be using fans, which are going to create a turbulent airflow, as will that open pipe. XAir's products, for the most part, work by entraining ambient air in addition to that supplied compressed air. So we are maximizing the force and the flow that we project onto a part, which gets you a better result, especially in the case of cooling.
Yeah. Very often, like we would hear that the blow-in applications, I mean, I'm not talking about the open pipes, for example, but in general, blow-in application, they consume a lot of compressed
Yeah.
air. And I know that you have quite a lot of initiative or quite a lot of products towards the energy efficiency of
Mm-hmm.
compressed air. How you reduce the flow of this most expensive source of energy in industrial floor?
So we do that by, and for example, I'll use our air amplifiers as an example. These are not to be confused with inline pressure air amplifiers. Our amplifiers are a flow amplifier. So we are
Okay.
supplying a small volume of compressed air. This volume of compressed air is ejected from a nozzle that creates a low pressure on the backside. That low pressure entrains ambient air from the surroundings. So it's this entrained flow that mixes with the supplied compressed air that gives us the high velocity, high volume flow of air that we're using to pass across the part. So we're keeping the air consumption at a minimum. And we, of course, recommend using pressure regulators just upstream. You don't ever want to use full line pressure unless you need to. So our principle is to operate at the absolute minimum pressure possible that gets you a desirable result.
Okay. What is usual like the pressure levels that you would operate this amplifiers? Would be like the
That can vary widely. We recommend starting anywhere around 5.5 to 6 bar, and then regulating that down until you get that minimum pressure possible. So the key is testing. You do have to do some testing in order to determine what that minimum pressure is. And it's always important to use inline point of use pressure regulators and filters as well to help facilitate that.
Okay. Thanks a lot for using bar in our
Oh, you're welcome.
podcast. So I'm still struggling with the recalculations, from the but no, that's very interesting. Talking about testing, how does it work? Does the customer needs to send you something to test, or like you can send them the product to test, or what is usually like the first steps after the customer actually identified the problem? For example, I need an amplifier, right? So what would be like the next step to integrate your solution and how to do this testing?
So we have a couple different ways that we handle that direct here in the US and Canada.
Hmm?
The first way would be what we call our efficiency lab service. So we
Okay,
have
cool.
this room that I'm in here is our demo room or efficiency lab, if you will. A customer can send us in a product or a sample of product, depending on what the application is. Our engineers will run it through a full pace of work and testing and determine what's going to be the optimal recommendation. Sometimes this could be comparing a homemade or inefficient blow off device to one of ours. So we'll bring it in
Mhm.
here, give it a full workup. We'll test the flow, force, sound level, and then provide what the equivalent would be for an EXAIR and how much savings you can achieve with that. So
Oh, okay,
that's one
cool.
way we. The
Okay.
second way,
Mhm.
we do offer an unconditional 30-day guarantee for any of the products that you see in our catalog. So at EXAIR, we're big on making sure the customer is getting the most out of our product, and oftentimes you have to test a product in order to do that. So this unconditional 30-day guarantee is a great way for customers to get something in their hands. We ship same day on orders before 2 o'clock Eastern time, so they can get it fast, get it tested. If it doesn't work, send it back, and we'll find you something that does.
Yeah, okay. I think this is really great that you offer this testing opportunities. From my experience, what I saw very often, especially in the blow-in applications, that the customer gets a certain nozzle or a blowing gun or any other applications, and the pressure level is not enough, for example, or it's too high or it's too low, and they usually
Mhm.
blame actually the equipment supplier that it was not that the performance that they promised is not the same, but actually they didn't went through the catalog, so they didn't check very carefully what is the required pressure levels there, and this is, I think, one of the main issues
Yes,
for this part. So
there's
I
so
think the
many
testing is
variables.
super important. Yes.
Yes, there's just so many variables from one application to another, and sometimes there's just no other way to do it than physically test it in your own facility, in your process, and make sure it's going to work for you. So we think it's important to offer something like that to our customers to make sure that they're not stuck with something that's not going to work.
Okay, great. So basically you will get it, then you will test, and then you also can see the savings of
Correct.
the. And what is usual
Correct.
like percentage of savings by using the products that you offer? What is the savings range for your
It really depends on what we're comparing to.
course?
But in the case of open pipes, I mean, we're talking 60 to 80% improvement or more, and quickly. So when we talk about the return of investment on some of these applications, it's going to pay for itself in less than a month, and then these things just continue to contribute to the bottom line.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. What are the usual like challenges you see with your customers? Because it's amazing how much awareness we have, and you have your blogs. You know, you go on LinkedIn and you can see that compressed air is actually one of the most popular topics in terms of industrial energy efficiency. And it's not that I'm talking as a compressed air expert, but some of colleague of mine who are in completely different field just recently told me about this. But there is still, I feel like, a lack of awareness. What do you think are the most challenges nowadays that stop end users from having a good performance system, a high efficient system?
I think it's just it's a misconception that air is free. I mean, everywhere it never ceases to amaze me how many customers you encounter on a daily basis that just don't understand how much compressed air costs really
Yeah.
to operate. So educating the customer on what those costs are. And really another issue that we have is many customers just don't have any idea how much air they're using. Installing digital flow meters or a device somewhere in the distribution system so that you have some awareness as to how much air you're consuming is another important thing that we try to communicate. But really, the biggest hurdle is educating the customer on how much these compressed air costs really truly are, and quite honestly, how much of it's being used or wasted, rather just in things like leaks.
Yeah, exactly. And with whom you usually talk? Is it the energy manager? Is it an operator? Is it the owner of the facility? Who is like more sensible
It
to
really
these
it's
issues?
all of them. The facility manager is typically the one who's going to be more concerned about the energy consumption. The maintenance guy just wants his problem to go away. So if you can make that problem go away, then he's happy. So
Yeah.
identifying who in the facility is really going to listen to that message, I think, would be the most challenging aspect of anything selling on efficiency.
Yeah, I think that's the other topic that they also always mention is also the safety part, right? So this is
Yes,
and the
absolutely.
noise reduction that it's extremely important in the blown applications. It's basically just like the quality of work
Hmm.
for the operators, and when you involve so many people, this is extremely important. And
Absolutely.
you're talking about the awareness. So how EXAIR works? Do you have distributors? Do you have training centers? What is your awareness model? How you educate your customers about the compressed air?
So overseas, internationally, we do go to customers through distribution models. There are a few areas where we do sell factory direct, but for the most part, we have a network of distributors that myself and the team that I work with is responsible for traveling, training, and educating them as well as their customers. And then here in the U.S. and Canada, we really rely on our blog. You touched on it earlier. That's a very robust tool for us. We make sure we post a new blog every day and just continue to spread various messages about compressed air, the industry, and just trying to stay abreast of what some of the important topics are in industry. And that blog is a great way for us to reach our customers and to try to get that message out there.
That's great. So we'll make sure that our listeners actually will follow EXAIR blog, where we can find it. Just EXAIR website, or it's also LinkedIn.
Yeah, there's a link to it on the website, or you can just go to blog.exair.com. Make sure you bookmark that. You'll have new posts every day, Monday through Friday.
Okay, great. Every day, Monday to Friday. Okay, you find so many topics. Okay, since it's so active Monday to Friday, what are the, I think one of my last questions, what do you think are the last or the most important trends nowadays in our industry, in our sector, apart from the efficiency? but what are the technologies that been like maybe more
I would say
used?
continuing to design products with new sizes, new materials. That's something that's very important as specifications may change. That's why we offer products in a variety of different materials. So we've got a zinc
Mm.
aluminum alloy, 303 and 316 stainless steel, as well as peak plastic. So just staying aware of the different applications that are in industry and always coming out with new air guns. For example, our Variblast line of air guns has a variable force trigger
Okay,
incorporated
great.
into the gun. So that's another way that can be we can minimize compressed air at the point of use. You don't necessarily need a full blast, so you can pull the trigger just a little bit and get almost a whisper, if you will. And then we've also incorporated that same technology into our latest air gun, the Turbo Blast safety air gun. It's for the much larger nozzles, 1 inch NPT and above. This
Mhm.
also has an adjustable gate valve that allows the operator to throttle the air consumption right at the point of use. So offering solutions that make it easier for an operator to reduce their compressed air consumption, even more so than just regulating the pressure upstream.
Okay, that's great. So I really like it. Sounds really, really good, Heather. Thank you so much. So I think from my side, I don't have any questions. So I'm really excited about your new products, and I would like to read more about the blog. Well, thank you so much. It was really great.
Oh, it was great to chat with you as well, and it's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.